Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Diana, aka Bookish Di. So I had no real plans for my April TBR reading schedule other than try and get through the giant stack of library books, both physical and ebooks, that I have checked out so that I'm not stressed when cascading due dates hit me. But on this month's Stitch and Bitch, Raya had mentioned that she's doing the Owls Readathon. And I decided, oh, that sounds interesting. I'm going to do it. So for folks who aren't following along, the Owls Readathon is a Harry Potter themed readathon month-long challenge. Each class offered by Hogwarts has a specific prompt, and you choose a career and you have to complete the prompts that are required for that career. And then you can go above and beyond so that you can earn a higher rank or a higher grade of owls. So, surprising no one, I decided to go for librarian because I am a bibliosorceress by day. And not surprising my friends at all, I am repping Gryffindor. So for the librarian career, I have to read 5 books. And so those are 4 Ancient Runes, Arithmancy, Defense Against the Dark Arts, History of Magic, and Transfiguration. So the first book that I'm reading is for Ancient Runes. The prompt is, and you can see Carrie in the background, so the prompt is retelling. So I am going to be reading The Epic Crush of Jeannie Lo by FC. Sorry, my cat's funny. By F.C. Yee. This is a retelling of The Legend of the Monkey King. It is centered around Jeannie Lo, who is a high school student in the Bay Area, hi cat, who wants nothing more than to get into a kick-ass Ivy League school, preferably Harvard, but finds herself fighting demons of legend, dealing with a reborn Monkey King who goes by the name Quentin Sun. I've started this book. It's really funny so far. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I had bought it about a year ago, and I just hadn't gone around to it since then. The next prompt for librarianship is Arithmancy, and the prompt for that is more than 2 authors. So I'm going to be reading The Price of the Stars by Deborah Doyle and James MacDonald. The Price of the Stars is a space opera focusing on Becca, who is a highborn young woman who is rejecting that until her mother, who's a politician, is murdered, and she's tasked by her father to seek revenge. One of my friends, Nancy, really likes this book, and it's another one that I had picked up a while ago and I just never got around to reading, so I figured now was a good time. Next up is Defense Against the Dark Arts, and the prompt for that is Reducto or starts with R. So I'm going to be reading Anne Leckie's The Raven Tower. This is her first epic fantasy after writing the Imperial Rocked books and Provenance. And so The Raven Tower is a second-person narrative. I'm not sure how much I can describe because from what I've heard is kind of spoilery, but anyway, I've heard very good things about it. I haven't read much Anne Leckie. I did read the first Imperial Rock book, Ancillary Justice, and I really liked it, so I'm looking forward to reading this. For History of Magic, the book was published more than 10 years ago, so I decided to read Star Wars New Jedi Order, Agents of Chaos 1, Hero's Trial. I've been slowly making my way through the New Jedi Order books. Tosche Station Radio has a read-along called Voncast, and I'm very slowly making my way through this. I've never read the New Jedi Order books before, so it's interesting to me to see what the old Star Wars EU was seeing as the future of the franchise, and then, kind of comparing it to what's going on with the movies. But that's a different topic. Anyway, so this is the 4th or 5th book in the New Jedi Order, and it follows Han Solo, so spoilers for an very old series. He's fallen into a depression because a moon dropped on Chewie, and he's trying to get revenge on the people that caused it. Anyway, it's by James Luceno, who can be a little hit or miss for me in terms of his Star Wars material, but I'm looking forward to finally reading this. Finally, the last book that I need for librarianship is Transfiguration, and the prompt for that is Sprayed Edges. So I am reading The Crooked Kingdom. I just started this, and it's the sequel to Six of Crows. It's set in Leigh Bardugo's Grishaverse, and it follows a group of murder children. So in the first book, they had to do an impossible heist, break into this place called the Ice Court, and this happens afterwards and is just all the consequences coming due, and I just really need my murdered children to be okay. Anyway, I'm looking forward to reading it. I really loved Six of Crows, and I'm very excited to finish the duology and then maybe go read some of her other Grisha book stuff. So because I'm also an overachiever, I've decided to assign books for the other prompts. I don't actually know if I'm going to get to them, but I'm going to do my best. So for Care of Magical Creatures, the prompt is land animal on the cover. So I'm gonna try and read Kate Elliott's Jaren. It's her first book in the Jaren series. I really love Kate Elliott. Her Spirit Walker trilogy is fantastic. I loved her YA novels, the Court of Five series. And so this year I decided I want to read more Kate Elliott, and so this seemed like a perfect opportunity to do so. There are 4 books in the Jaren series. I'm only going to read 1 because they are fairly large, and otherwise I would not be able to do that during the month of April. Next is, is Divination, which is a book set in the future. So I've decided to read Lois McMaster Bujold's Brothers in Arms. This is a book in her Vorkosigan saga. So this follows Miles. It's set in the far future. So Earth is actually a place, I believe, is one of the settings, but most of the previous books have not been set on Earth. Again, this is a series I've been slowly making my way through. I really like it. Miles is a little shit, but he's entertaining. And I've been told Brothers in Arms is the start of a really interesting mini trilogy within the series, so I'm very excited to get to it. Next up, Potions. The prompt is sequel, so I am going to be reading Laura Elena Donnelly's Armistice. It's the second book in the Amberlo dossier series. I really liked Amberlo. I haven't gotten around to reading Armistice yet, obviously. But it's set in a secondary fantasy world that's inspired by Weimar Republic Berlin. So the Amberlo dossier followed a group of characters that were dealing with a fascist takeover of Amberlo. And so the second book is what happens after. So I'm really excited to read it. The sequel, or the final book in the trilogy, Amnesty, comes out this month. I have it pre-ordered. I think the covers are particularly gorgeous. And yeah, this is another one that I've been looking forward to reading for a while, and this gives me an opportunity to do so. The prompt for Herbology is have a plant on the cover. So I am going to be reading Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shauna McGuire. This is the second in her Wayward Children series. This book is a backstory book. It follows sisters Jack and Jill, and what happens when they find their door to the moors. And so this book is designed, this book gives background into why Jack and Jill are the way that they are when we meet them in Every Heart a Doorway. It's about the roles that we are forced to, the choices that we make, and the consequences of those actions, and I'm very excited to read this. I've definitely been saying that for all of that. I didn't mean to. Anyway, I'm sorry. For Astronomy, the prompt is Star in the Title. So again, surprising no one, I am choosing a Star Wars title. Star Wars Queen's Shadow by E.K. Johnston. This was a book that I had talked about in my book haul, the book that I had been waiting for over 20 years. It's about Padme and her handmaidens and her transition from queen to senator. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. I really liked E.K. Johnston's Ahsoka novel, which is her other Star Wars book. She also has a story in the From a Certain Point of View anthology. And yeah, Queen Shadow. I'm really hoping we get more Padme books in the future. So hopefully strong sales for this, and either Disney Publishing or Del Rey will give the people what they want. So Muggle Studies, the theme is contemporary. So for that, I have selected Muffin Top by Avery Flynn. As of recording, I've actually already finished it. So this is the second book in Avery Flynn's Hardigan series. It follows Lucy Tavenaugh, who is a kick-ass plus-size PR specialist, and it has fake dating, which is one of my favorite tropes. And it's also really nice because it's a romance novel starring a plus-size woman where her happily ever after isn't dependent on her losing weight or discovering she was beautiful all along. Lucy knows that. She knows that she's kick-ass, that she's attractive. It's a lot of her dealing with her own insecurities. And it was a fun read. I'm looking forward to the next Hardigan's book. So if you're looking for a good contemporary romance, I would recommend that. Finally, the last prompt is Charms, which is an adult. So I am choosing this massive book, The Diamond Throne by David Eddings. I have never read Eddings before. I have some friends who really like him, who view him through, he has a formative influence on them. I have read, criticisms about the sexism, racism in his work. But it is something I've been meaning to pick up for a while, just to, read it, and just kind of maybe form my own opinions on it. So, this is one where if I'm running out of time, I honestly might swap out for another adult novel. Again, just because this is a fairly large book and I do want to try and read as many books for the readathon as possible. So that's it for me. That is my month of April. It's jam-packed, full of awesome sounding books. So if you are taking part of the readathon, what is your wizarding career? What house are you in? Or is this something that you're just kind of watching from afar with amusement, I guess? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at BookishDie, and have a good rest of the week.